Overlord, the Multiverse, Chapter 21, World Enemy 1. I activated the crystals, summoning the elemental King Frost. As the majestic ice elemental materialized before me, a chill swept through the air, extinguishing the flames that had threatened to consume me. Of course, one isn't enough, I chuckled to myself, let's summon 10. With a flick of my wrist, I activated more of the sealing crystals, summoning a battalion of elemental King Frosts. As each one appeared, the temperature plummeted, turning the scorching dungeon into a frozen wasteland. The phoenix squawked in surprise as it found itself surrounded by an army of icy behemoths. I mused, watching with satisfaction as the elemental King Frosts advanced on their fiery foe. With the phoenix distracted, I seized the opportunity to assess my next move. Shadow Melt, Protection, Flame, Drain, Touch, Illusionary Image, Gravity Well, Ethereal Blade, Banishment, Invisibility, Soul Drain, Explosive Rune, I intoned, each word resonating with power as the buffs enveloped me in a protective aura. Feeling emboldened by the array of spells and items at my disposal, I surveyed the battlefield with a sense of tactical delight. There was still time to utilize some more goodies cash shop item from my inventory. The Infinity Elixir beckoned, promising me temporary 60% mana recovery and health regeneration. Unlimited power in a bottle. Don't mind if I do, I thought, eager to top off my reserves and keep myself in peak fighting condition. Next up was the Experience Booster, offering a sweet shortcut to leveling up. Time to turbocharge my progress, I chuckled, envisioning the XP jackpot awaiting me if I could best this level 100 chicken. But why stop there when Fortune's favor was also in play? With increased drop rates for rare items and gold, I could practically hear the loot calling my name. Let's play a little game of Finders Keepers, I grinned, looking forward to collecting some shiny treasures. Feeling a bit like an unstoppable juggernaut already, I decided to double down with the Eternal Essence. 6 seconds of invincibility, unkillable. That's my kind of insurance policy, I smirked, preparing to make myself untouchable for a crucial moment. And just to add some extra punch to my attacks, I reached for the critical strike parchment. Time to turn up the heat with some well-placed crits, I muttered, ready to deliver some devastating blows to my fiery foe. But why rely solely on potions when I had the Rune of Precision? With a permanent boost to critical hit chance, my weapons would become even deadlier. Let's give him a little something to remember me by, I chuckled, infusing my gear with an extra edge. Armed to the teeth with buffs and enhancements, I charged back into the fray, ready to turn the tide of battle in my favor. The Phoenix's strong regeneration and one-time resurrection made it a tough nut to crack. But hey, if I can deal with nosy PKERs and overly aggressive NPCs, a fiery bird shouldn't be too much trouble, right? With that in mind, I charged back into the battlefield just as the Phoenix dealt the final blow to my last elemental King Frost. I launched myself at the Phoenix, my weapons glinting in the fiery glow of the dungeon. I ducked and weaved through its attacks, dodging flames and talons with practiced ease. As the battle raged on, I knew I had to pull out all the stops to gain the upper hand against the relentless Phoenix. I needed every advantage I could get. So, without hesitation, I reached into my inventory and unleashed damage-dealing cash shop items. Not the one he previously used. Sensing that my HP is depleting, I activated the Eternal Essence, granting me temporary invincibility for a crucial 6 seconds. With this brief respite from harm, I could unleash devastating attacks without fear of counter. But then, just as victory seemed within reach, the Phoenix unleashed its one-time resurrection ability, springing back to life with renewed vigor. Finally, I whispered, feeling like I'd just dodged a fiery bullet. Now that it's burned through its extra life, let's finish this bird-brained battle. With a smirk, I activated my Soul Drain spell, channeling its dark energy towards the resurrected Phoenix. Time to give this bird a taste of its own medicine, I muttered, relishing the opportunity to turn the tables on my fiery foe. As the spell took effect, I could feel the Phoenix's life force being siphoned away, weakening its fiery resolve with each passing moment. How's that for a power play? I taunted, reveling in the satisfying feedback as the creature's strength waned. But just as I thought victory was assured, the Phoenix let out a defiant screech, rallying its remaining energy for one last stand. Oh, come on, I groaned, rolling my eyes at its stubborn persistence. Can't you take a hint? It's time to throw in the towel, feathered friend. With my Soul Drain spell still in effect, I continued to chip away at the Phoenix's dwindling health, inching closer and closer to victory with each passing second. As the final moments of the battle unfolded, I delivered the finishing blow, sending the fiery creature crashing to the ground in defeat. Congratulations, you have defeated the world enemy Celestial Lord of Flames. Congratulations, you have leveled up. Level 90 greater than level 91. Level 91 greater than level 92. Congratulations, you have obtained the divine class items, Phoenix Feather. Congratulations, you have obtained the divine class items, Phoenix Blood. Congratulations, you have obtained the ability, Domain of Flame. Congratulations, you have obtained the ability, Phoenix Rebirth. Congratulations, you have obtained the ability, Elemental Summon. Congratulations, you have obtained the world-class item, World Savior. Congratulations, your resistance to fire has increased. Congratulations, you have obtained 1 million gold. Global announcement, player Alexander Segictus von Mortis has defeated the world enemy Celestial Lord of Flames. Server announcement, the threat of the Celestial Lord of Flames has been eliminated. Congratulations, you are the first one to slay a world enemy. Additional reward will be supplied afterward. Did I ever mention I was overpowered? If not, then now you know. Tilde. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon, this volume is over. You can join my Patreon for $3. See you. 100 plus advanced chapters posted. You won't regret joining. All the images can. Chapter 22, Familiar Face. Overlord, the Multiverse by Black_Bolt. After my intense battle with the Phoenix, I made my way to Alfheim, my destination, to obtain the Moonstone. While some of you might think, how can a level 90 vampire can defeat a level 100 Phoenix, shouldn't it be impossible in every gaming sense? Fire always has the upper hand against darkness, so how can the embodiment of fire be easily defeated by a puny vampire, you might think. In the realm of gaming, logic takes a backseat and the absurd becomes the norm. So, while it might seem like a level 90 vampire defeating a level 100 phoenix defies all gaming sense, it's just another day in the virtual world's wild ride. Sure, fire usually has the upper hand over darkness, but in this digital playground, the rules are more like guidelines, and victory often goes to the one with the wackiest strategy or the luckiest critical hits. The most important thing is that the phoenix was up against me, Alexander Segictus von Mortis, the husband of death, the one who taught death 69 positions in 69 hours, the one who taught death how to masturbate. Stop it, dear, you are embarrassing me, Death's voice echoed in my mind. With a chuckle and a wink, I sauntered off towards Alfheim, ready to claim that elusive moonstone. Unlike Muspelheim, which felt like standing too close to a barbecue pit, Alfheim was a refreshing change of scenery. It's like comparing a sauna session to a stroll through a botanical garden, one leaves you feeling roasted, while the other leaves you feeling rejuvenated. As I traipsed through Alfheim's picturesque landscapes, I couldn't help but think how completely opposite the world of Alfheim was from the real world. It was like swapping out concrete jungles for lush forests, car honks for bird songs, and deadlines for daydreams. If Alfheim was real, it would be like fairy tale. The air would be so clean you could bottle it and sell it as instant happiness. But no matter how advanced technology becomes, it can never truly replicate the beauty of nature in all its glory. Even though most of my memories are forgotten, there's one moment from my previous life that still shines brightly in my mind's eye. I was at the beach, the golden rays of the evening sun casting a warm glow over the sand and sea. The gentle lull of the waves and the salty breeze kissing my skin. I stood there, feeling the soft grains of sand beneath my feet and listening to the soothing melody of the waves. It seems like you are missing your old world, dear, Death said, waking me from my thoughts. Perhaps I am, I admitted, gazing out at the dense canopy of trees stretching as far as the eye could see. Or maybe it's because I hate the real world, filled with sulfur and pollution. Death chuckled, the sound echoing softly through the forest. Fair point, it conceded. You need to be here for a couple more years. After that, you can live your dream life. Or I could just destroy this world and bring you back to my realm, and you can choose another world that you find comfortable. I raised an eyebrow at Death's offer, considering the implications carefully. The idea of leaving behind the chaos and pollution of the real world in exchange for a fresh start in a new realm was certainly tempting. But it would be like running from failure before the battle even begins, I mused aloud, my smirk widening into a grin. And where's the fun in that? And destroy the world. As much as I'd love to shake things up, I think I'll pass on the whole apocalypse scenario. I want to be happy, but that doesn't mean I will destroy others' happiness. Of course, if others try to destroy anything of mine, I will destroy that motherfucker. Death chuckled softly hearing my reply. I couldn't help but feel a twinge of satisfaction from Death. Maybe it was her pride, or maybe just relief that I hadn't chosen the path of destruction. With that, I continued my journey through the forest. But just then, my finely tuned vampire senses tingled, alerting me to the presence of 5 individuals not too far off. And among them, one was giving off serious heteromorphic vibes. What do we have here? I muttered to myself, envisioning the potential loot or trouble this encounter might bring. It's like stumbling upon a rare Pokemon in the tall grass, exciting. Time to see if what they're doing, or maybe just lost tourists looking for the nearest coffee shop in the middle of a forest. As I stealthily approached the group, I blended into the shadows like a ninja in a blockbuster movie. As I got closer, I couldn't help but overhear snippets of their conversation. This bastard is hard to kill. What type of heteromorphic is he? One of them exclaimed, brandishing his sword menacingly. I peered through the darkness to see a figure adorned in gleaming platinum armor, complete with a helmet that screamed, Chosen One, and a chest piece that looked like it could double as a disco ball. And let's not forget the cape, crimson red with gold accents, fluttering dramatically in the forest breeze. It was like someone had taken fashion advice from a medieval superhero. Coincidentally, I knew exactly who he was. Talk about destiny showing up uninvited. I couldn't help but stifle a laugh at the sight. Isn't he a real showstopper? I muttered to myself, but apparently, that was enough for them to locate me, or more like I show them my location. As they turned their attention towards me, I couldn't help but flash them a mischievous grin. Surprise, looks like the party just got a little more interesting, I quipped, stepping out of the shadows with all the flair of a stage performer. One of armored humanoid raised an eyebrow at my sudden appearance, clearly not expecting company. And who might you be? He asked, his voice dripping with authority. I am Batman. Tilde. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon this volume is over, you can join. Chapter 23, Touch Me. Overlord, the Multiverse by Black_Bolt. And who might you be? One of armored humanoid asked, his voice dripping with authority. I am Batman, I declared with a straight face, channeling my inner caped crusader. The group exchanged puzzled glances, clearly not expecting such an unexpected response. But hey, when life gives you a chance to be the Dark Knight, you take it. It seems like my fellow over there is having some difficult time, I remarked, gesturing towards the platinum-armored heteromorphic who seemed to be the target of their hunt. The heteromorphic in question stood tall and imposing, his armor gleaming in the dappled sunlight filtering through the trees. But despite his intimidating appearance, there was a hint of uncertainty in his eyes as he surveyed the group of would-be assailants. You know him, one of the armored individuals of Humanoid party asked, eyeing me suspiciously. Oh, we go way back, I replied nonchalantly, flashing a grin that could rival the Cheshire Cat's. We used to play hide and seek together in the dungeons of yore. Good times. The group exchanged incredulous glances, clearly unsure whether to take me seriously or dismiss me as a lunatic. Just then, the mage of the humanoid party chimed in. He is a heteromorphic player, he announced, followed closely by the warrior. Is that so? Kill him, the humanoid warrior declared abruptly, his voice filled with determination as soon as the mage divulged the opponent's heteromorphic status. Well, this escalated quickly, I muttered under my breath. Just then, to my surprise, the platinum armor heteromorphic player stepped forward, positioning himself between me and the charging humanoid party, his shield raised protectively. Looks like we've got ourselves a knight in shining armor, I quipped, unable to resist a hint of amusement. It was like a scene straight out of a cheesy fantasy novel, complete with a gallant hero swooping in to save the day. What are you doing? I asked the gallant hero. Just trying to protect you, duh, the gallant hero replied with a hint of exasperation, as if the answer should have been obvious. You're facing 4 level 100 players. Do you really think you can win against them without my help? He pointed out. Did he just call me a weakling who needs his help to defeat the real weaklings? Now that's something I can't forgive. With a smirk, I brushed past the gallant hero, eager to prove myself. Move aside, Silver Surfer. I'm about to show you who's the daddy here, I declared, channeling my inner swagger as I stepped forward to face the humanoid party. You are not even a level 100 player, how are you going to defeat us? Said the warrior of humanoid party. Like this, kill yourself, I retorted, activating my ability with a flick of my wrist. After defeating all the enemies, I turned to a silver armor-wearing insectoid, who was looking at me. Who are you? I believe I have never met you in my life, the silver armor-wearing heteromorphic asked me. My name is Alexander Cejictus von Mortis, I introduced myself with a flourish, extending a hand in greeting. But you can call me Alex or Alexander, for short. Alexander, as in the man who defeated the world enemy, the silver armor-wearing heteromorphic exclaimed. The one and only, I replied modestly, though a smirk tugged at the corner of my lips. But enough about me, what's your name? My name is Touch Me If You Dare. You can call me Touch Me, he said. So tell me, Alexander, what are you doing in Alfheim? Pick. Touch Me, huh, bold name, I remarked to one of the founding members of Ainsul Gown. As for me, I'm here to find Moonstone to complete my quest. Moonstone, Touch Me asked, then he quickly opened his inventory and took out a milky white crystal. Is this the one you were looking for? Touch me, you sly dog, I exclaimed, my eyes widening in astonishment as he revealed the milky white crystal from his inventory. That's exactly what I've been searching for. Touch Me chuckled, a twinkle of amusement in his eyes. Consider it a gift from one adventurer to another, he said, extending the moonstone towards me. I accepted the precious gemstone with gratitude, marveling at its ethereal beauty. With this in my possession, I collected all the items to create my sword. Thank you, Touch Me, I said sincerely, tucking the moonstone safely away. I owe you one. No need for thanks, Alexander, Touch Me replied with a smile. But before he can go, I called him. Hey, Touch Me, if you ever want to start a guild or a permanent party, count me in, I said, the excitement evident in my voice. Touch Me paused, I'll keep that in mind, Alexander. With a nod of mutual understanding, Touch Me bid me farewell and disappeared into the depths of the forest. Now then, let's return to Nidavellir, I muttered to myself. As I arrived at Grimgar's forge, the familiar clang of metal on metal filled the air. The old dwarf was hard at work, his brow furrowed in concentration as he pounded away at a red-hot ingot. Grimgar, I called out, eager to share the news of my successful quest. I've returned with the ingredients you requested. Grimgar turned towards me, a broad grin spreading across his weathered face. Well, if it ain't the mighty Alexander Cejictus von Mortis himself. He exclaimed, setting down his hammer and wiping his brow with a soot-stained rag. And I see you've brought the goods. Let's have a look, shall we? I reached into my bag and withdrew the vial of pure dragon's blood, the shard of moonstone, and the phoenix's blood, presenting them to Grimgar with a flourish. Here you go, I said proudly, watching as Grimgar inspected each item with a critical eye. 3 exotic ingredients, just as you requested. Grimgar's eyes widened in delight as he examined the items. By the forge, you've done it, lad, he exclaimed, a note of awe in his voice. These are some of the rarest materials in all the realms. With these, we'll be able to forge a weapon fit for a king. Tilde. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon this volume is over, you can join my Patreon for $3, see you. 100 plus advanced chapters posted, you won't regret joining. Chapter 24, World Championship. Overlord, The Multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.8K777. Time skip. As I slashed through monsters in YGGDRASILL, a notification popped up, and I eagerly checked it out. Notification +1, what's this? I muttered, intrigued. As I read through the message, a grin spread across my face. Oh, holy crap, finally, I exclaimed, unable to contain my excitement. The contents revealed something beyond my wildest expectations. It wasn't just another event or quest, it was the news I'd been waiting for since forever. After all this time, you're finally showing up, I muttered, my eyes glued to one particular section of the lengthy message. World Championship announcement. I couldn't help but laugh. It looks like it's time to put my monster slaying skills to the ultimate test. The day of the World Championship tournament had finally rocked up like a surprise party no one wanted to miss. 1 month after the big announcement sent shockwaves through Yggdrasil. It was like the entire player base collectively chugged a barrel of caffeinated potions, hyped up beyond belief. While a few slackers were still loitering around, probably stuck in some low-level dungeon or too busy trying to figure out which end of the sword to hold, the rest of us were gearing up for the showdown of the century. It was like a virtual Olympics, but with more dragons and fewer wardrobe malfunctions. And let me tell you, the stakes were higher than a giant's bong hits. We're talking about unique job classes and exclusive gear that even the game developers were drooling over. If that doesn't get your potion brewing, I don't know what will. So there we were, a motley crew of warriors, mages, and probably a few confused NPCs thrown in for good measure, all itching for a piece of that sweet, sweet championship pie. From the battle-hardened veterans to the fresh-faced noobs who probably still had the tutorial quest in their quest log, everyone was out to prove themselves. And me, well, despite months of planning and strategizing, I couldn't help but join in the madness. Because, let's face it, when the stakes are this high, even the most prepared players start second-guessing their inventory. So there I was, frantically double-checking my gear and muttering prayers to RP Jesus, hoping for a critical hit on my luck stat. Because in a game where one wrong move could mean respawning at the nearest checkpoint, you bet your virtual butt I wasn't taking any chances. But unlike the rest of the lot who went into panic mode the moment the announcement hit, I had a bit of a cheat code up my sleeve, reincarnation perks, baby. Thanks to my past life memory dump, I had a year worth time to prepare. Because of this, my preparation simply involves double-checking, no, triple-checking my supplies and other things. Sure, I did the whole gathering materials and grinding thing, but let's face it, that's just my bread and butter. It's like when you go to a party and end up spending more time raiding the snack table than actually mingling with people. Snacks are life, am I right? But one thing I didn't slack off on was studying up for the championship. I mean, I practically memorized every instruction posted on the YGGDRASILL official website word for word. It was like cramming for a final exam, except instead of textbooks, I was poring over virtual rulebooks. Hey, gotta know the lay of the land if you want to come out on top, right? Now that the big day is finally here, all the prep work and strategizing seem like ancient history. It's showtime in YGGDRASILL, and everyone's eyes are on the prize, including mine. Whatever happens today is going to have a ripple effect on my future plans. I mean, winning this thing could totally change the game for me. But even if things don't go exactly as planned, you can bet your virtual gold I'm not going down without a fight. Win or lose, this event is going to be a game changer. And as for me, well, let's just say I've got my eyes on the prize, and I'm not backing down anytime soon. Bring it on, YGGDRASILL. I'm ready for whatever you've got. Here I am, smack dab in the middle of the waiting room in Yggdrasil. Time to make a name for myself, I mutter under my breath, trying to psych myself up for what's to come. Amidst the murmurs and shuffling of players around me, I take a quick scan of the room. Some are huddled together in groups, chatting animatedly, while others seem lost in their own thoughts. And then there are those who are just chilling, probably too cool to show any signs of nerves. But before I can get too comfortable, a sudden noise cuts through the air like a sword through butter. It's a notification, and it's got everyone's attention faster. The World Championship will start in a few moments. To all players that wish to participate, please navigate your console to pick a base world you wish to join. Well, look who's finally rolling out the red carpet for us, I quip to myself, feeling like I just scored a front row seat at the virtual Super Bowl. Following the instructions like a pro gamer, I zip through my console to select Helheim as my battleground. With a few taps and a little bit of virtual elbow grease, I load up on all the gear and gadgets I'll need to kick some serious digital butt. But of course, no epic quest is complete without a quick inventory check and a few last-minute tweaks. I mean, you never know when you might need an emergency stash of healing potions or a spare pair of enchanted socks, right? Alright, time to show these pixels what I'm made of, I declare to the empty air, channeling my inner hero. With a dramatic flourish, I hit the enter button like it's the big red launch button on a rocket ship, disappearing in a flash of light and a puff of virtual smoke. And just like that, I'm off on the adventure of a lifetime, ready to take on whatever challenges the World Championship throws my way. Tilde tilde tilde. Give me your opinion and criticism about the chapter. I can only improve my story if you point out what is wrong and what is needed to change. And leave at least one comment and review if you like my fanfic. In my Patreon, this volume is over. You can join my Patreon for $3. See you, 100 plus advanced chapters posted, you won't regret joining. All the images can only be seen in my Patreon, as I can't upload them in Scribble Hub. In my Patreon, this volume is over and MC is at High School DxD. Chapter 25, World Championship 1. Overlord, the Multiverse by Black_Bolt. 1.9K674. After hitting that entry button for the World Championship, I found myself smack dab in the middle of a freaking coliseum. Whoa, talk about being thrown into the lion's den, I muttered, taking in the chaotic scene around me. It was like a medieval rave, with players of all shapes and sizes, humanoids, demi-humans, and even a few funky-looking heteromorphics, getting hyped up for the showdown. And let me tell you, the place was buzzing like a beehive on steroids. Folks were cheering, chatting, and probably plotting their strategies for world dominance, all while giving off that festival vibe. As I glanced around, I couldn't help but notice the massive YGGDRASILL flag fluttering high above, looking like a fancy tree with a blingy gold trim. It was like the official symbol of, let's get ready to rumble. And right smack dab in the center of the chaos was this big old blue screen, flashing a bolt 10 o'clock like it's some kind of countdown to doomsday. Well, maybe it was, considering the competition ahead. And in my system interface, a new option has also been added with two giant swords crossing each other. In it is a list that shows all the 9 worlds, and above the choices is a note that tells me I can watch the tournaments of other worlds. Increment. Asgard, 8,190 seconds. Helheim, 8,190 seconds. Jotunheim, 7,935 8,190 seconds. Midgard, 8,190 seconds. Muspelheim, 8,089 8,190 seconds. Niflheim, 8,054 8,190 seconds. Nidavellir, 8,192 8,190 seconds. Vanaheim, 8,189 8,190 seconds. Alfheim, 8,192 8,190 seconds. Increment. At the corner of each choice, there's this column of numbers skyrocketing faster than a wizard on a sugar rush. Before I can even blink, each number hits 4 digits already. So, only around 74,000 can join, I mutter, doing some quick mental math. It's like trying to squeeze into a packed subway car during rush hour, except instead of sweaty commuters, it's virtual warriors itching for a piece of the action. Anyone with half a brain cell can see that these numbers are the player capacity for each world. And judging by how quickly they're filling up, it's clear that everyone and their grandma's pet dragon want in on this tournament. But here's the kicker, it's barely been a minute since these choices popped up, and already the worlds are bursting at the seams. Talk about a virtual stampede. I guess when the stakes are this high, there's no time for dilly-dallying. It's like trying to snag the last slice of pizza at a gamer's convention, you gotta move fast or risk getting left in the dust. In Helheim, there are 5 coliseums, 4 of which are buzzing with excitement as the selection matches kick off. With 2,048 participants packed into each arena. The winners of each arena will enter semifinals, which will be held in last in the biggest coliseums in Helheim. 7:45. As the player count maxes out and the tension in the air reaches peak levels, a timer above us finally starts its countdown. Tick, tock, it's like waiting for the clock to strike midnight on New Year's Eve, except instead of champagne, we're all armed to the teeth and ready to rumble. But that's not all. A screen materializes in front of me, displaying the rules and info for the upcoming tournament. I read the rules and information quickly. It didn't even take me a couple of seconds. It was the same as on the Yggdrasil official webpage. A couple of the key rules are: no outside assistance allowed during matches. Players must rely solely on their own skills and resources to prevail. Elimination matches will be decided by submission or HP hits 0. Translation: it's a no-holds-barred showdown where the only way out is through. Whether you tap out or get knocked out, there's no room for mercy in this digital battleground. No resurrection items allowed here. Forget about stocking up on Phoenix Downs or revival potions. Once you're out for good. It's like playing hardcore mode in real life, where one wrong move could mean game over. And some other non-important rule. It seems all your preparations are done. Death's voice echoed through my mind, breaking me out of my reverie. I nod confidently. Yep, all set and ready to rock, I reply, trying to sound as nonchalant as possible. After all, I've practically got the rulebook memorized from my time scouring the Yggdrasil official webpage. No outside assistance. Check. Matches decided by submission or HP hitting 0. Got it. And as for resurrection items, well, I'll just have to rely on good old-fashioned skill and luck. Good luck, my dear. I give Death a grateful nod, feeling a surge of determination coursing through me. Thanks, Death, I reply with a confident grin. With a final nod of encouragement, I turn my attention back to the looming Colosseum, ready to give it everything I've got. After all, with Death's blessing and my own skills at the ready, there's nothing standing in my way. Time to show this tournament what I'm made of. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fireworks SFX. As the timer ticks down to 0, the sky above the Colosseum erupts in a spectacular display of fireworks, painting the night with bursts of color and light. It's a breathtaking sight to behold, and I can't help but feel a surge of excitement coursing through me. In the blink of an eye, I find myself whisked away from the sidelines and deposited onto a wide corridor leading straight to the arena. The anticipation hangs thick in the air as I take a deep breath, ready to step into the spotlight and show the world what I'm made of. It's showtime. Tilde tilde tilde.